Hey, I am really excited about some things that are going on in our life and excited to share those with you. Um, I've not uploaded in probably 6 months, so it's a long time coming. It's a long winter, but once you hear what I was doing, you'll see why how my creative energies were focused elsewhere, and I'll tell you about that here in just a second. But I wanted to update you guys. Last year was a very long year. I only did a handful of videos, but I'm thankful for all of you that have stuck around. I think I passed over 500 subscribers, which is exciting. So I appreciate everybody who's stuck around and everybody who's new. But anyways, I had a big year last year. Our whole family did. So at least in my household, we had 4 surgeries, only one of which was planned. It was just a long, long year. And maybe somebody out there has experienced the same kind of thing. So anyways, during that time, I revisited something that I had thought about a long, like 12, 14, 15 plus years ago. I think it was actually over 15. I don't think Jackson was born. And that is a long time ago. I had, you know me. I'm not afraid to try anything. If I want to do it, I'll try it. So I had started outlining a storyline. I'd started writing it, and I was maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 chapters in, but I hadn't really finished it. Kind of put it away, saved it in that junk email file that you don't quite want to trash, but you're not going to do anything with it. So life happened for 15 plus years, and 2 years ago I had made it my New Year's resolution to do less screen time, and by doing that I started reading more books. And the more I was reading books, the more I started thinking again about the story that I had started and that I had in the back of my mind for a long time. And I've always thought, you always kind of dream like, oh, it would be so fun to do this. I think it'd be so cool to do this or try that one time, Well, one of those things for me was always writing a story. And so last January, I sat down with my computer in our bedroom, and Matt came in, and I said, I think I'm going to write a story. And he kind of looked at me a little funny, and I was like, I have a story in my mind. Like, I have one. I said, I just need to write it. And there were a couple of different ways I thought about going with it. And, he never made fun of me about it. He never said, don't waste your time or anything like that. And I'm glad, because let's fast forward to now, and big reveal, have completed a book, and it is actually going to be available to you. So I finished my book in January. I finished editing it around the Super Bowl of this year, 2024. And that's actually the only time Matt had actually shared with my friends and family, didn't know. Matt had kind of mentioned it last summer, joking with our family that, oh, Becca's writing a book. And I never would elaborate more, never let him elaborate more. I'm sure I went home that day and I was like, don't say a word about it. But he let the cat out of the bag again in front of my family. And they said, oh, you really wrote a book? And I was like, yeah. And they asked how long it was. I was like, 300 pages. So it's a legit book, full story. And I went through and I kind of soft edited it myself. And I was done editing, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll, just for giggles. Like, I know these big giant publishers are not going to pick me up. Never in a million years do I dream that will ever happen. But I thought, you know what, let me look at some smaller publishers. And there are hybrid self-publishers, self-publishing company, which means I can submit my story, and if they accept it, then it's kind of a partnership. So there's a cost for me involved. And it's where I would invest in my book enough so that it it would cover the cost of someone editing it, someone designing a cover, someone doing a copy edit, them doing all the publishing, them doing a press release and having an author website and all that stuff. And we prayed about it. I submitted the story and prayed about it. Didn't really expect anything. And the literary agent that I was connected with, she actually got back to me and said that they loved my book and they wanted to accept it. And I thought, oh, I mean, it really caught me off guard. And of course I was flattered, but I was like, okay, so I didn't want to be naive. So I said, okay, well, do you guys just accept every single book that is submitted? Like, should I feel as flattered as I'm feeling right now? Because I don't want to be dumb about it. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh. And then be like, oh yeah, we also published this POC over here. So, and she said, no, they do either they just reject books, they do a conditional acceptance, which is they like my storyline, but it needs some work and they're not gonna contract with me yet, but there's a conditional, like if I can meet some things and change some things and get it to a certain point that they'll consider working with me, or full-on acceptance. And I got a full-on acceptance. So with that, they sent me an agreement. I had to review it. Like I said, there was some cost involved. I'm not allowed to go into the details of that. But it was a good value. And if we didn't have other things going on in our life, I probably would have signed with them and had them do it. But I just didn't feel that I could I have a full-time job. I don't need to invest that much in a side gig for my first time ever writing a story. So I was mentioning it to a couple of people. My cousin kind of said that, he felt confident in my ability to do this as just a self-publisher. So that's the route that I went. And I have it edited. I've done all my cover design, done all the formatting, and my new book is going to be coming out soon. And I will tell you about it very soon, a little bit more. I have some proof copies on the way. We have a scheduled release date, May 15th. But I'm not going to divulge the title just yet. And I will, like I said, I've got some book copies on the way. So maybe I'll do like an unboxing of my book. But anyway, it's so surreal. Like, I feel like, you ever get imposter syndrome? Like, you want to try something and then someone like validates you, like, yeah, you're okay at it. And then you're like, I don't know. I'm just not sure. Like, I feel like I totally have imposter syndrome right now because I don't have a history in writing. It's always been like an interest. I love journaling. I love, I'm a very type A person, organization, that kind of stuff. So, and I love creative stuff, as we've seen. I do photography. I do other videos on here. I've done like the clothing stuff because I wanted to try it. And if it wasn't for me, it wasn't for me. But I can say now I know for sure, yeah, I've done it and not for me. But this I've really enjoyed doing, and I was dedicated to it for over an entire year, writing this story and keeping it to myself, and that's really hard to do. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel very, very vulnerable explaining myself right now to all of you. I get the feeling sometimes like, people are gonna be like, who does she think she is, just writing a story? But here I am, writing a story, and it's coming out. I will give you a little bit about it. I won't give you the title or anything yet. It's a clean romance. So it's not full on Christian romance. It's not like the preacher's wife or something like that. It's just a sweet romance story, like a vacation trope romance. And it's clean. So I'm not ashamed for my children to read it or for their friends to read it. And I'm not ashamed for my dad to read it. I'm not ashamed for anybody to read it and be like, this is going on in Becca's mind. So I wanted to put something out there that I was proud of, that I could stand behind and proudly put my name on. And I think most of you will like it. Some of you might read it and pick it up and be like, again, here comes my imposter syndrome. I don't want to discredit it because I feel like it's a good book. I believe in it. I wouldn't be doing all this if I didn't believe in it. But, you know, I know there's going to be naysayers about everything, and it just is what it is. I'm not an educated literary scholar, so some people might read it and be like, oh, it's clear this is her first book, but I don't care. I'm really excited about it, and it's just kind of one of those things. Like, I just want to be able to show anybody around me that if you want to try something, do it. You get one life, and do with it as you want. I don't have to go the rest of my life thinking, oh, what if I had done this? I'll be able to say it. But anyways, that is my long story, not so short, intro to what is coming, what's going on, what to be watching out for. And I'm going to be getting a website together so that I can get information about myself out there, information about my book, ways to sell, or ways to purchase the book. I'm selling it. I'll have it on my website, which will be fulfilled through me, and then it'll be online as well through Amazon. It's going to be on Amazon, so it's already been approved through Amazon. We're waiting for the date coming up. So, anyways, that's my exciting news, and I can't wait to share it with you. And I'm hoping that you know, if anything, anybody's like, well, if she can do it, I can do it, and give it a try. You're really not going to hurt anybody but you're not even going to hurt yourself. It's not going to hurt anything for you to give it a try. So anyways, have a great day. I will be touching base soon, and I will talk to you later.